Okay, here we are for another glorious day in paradise. Here in the gym, and I'm already fucking sweating, so I just know it's gonna be a good one. Not that how much you sweat determines, and I've said this before, how much you sweat does not determine how good of a workout you've had. I always use the example you could go sit in a sauna for 30 minutes and sweat your fucking ass off. Does that mean you had a good workout? Not at all. It can, now, it can make a workout more intense, but, for bodybuilding purposes, when I start sweating so much that it starts taking focus away, it's like, oh my god, I'm so hot, I'm sweating, I can't hardly catch my breath. Um, that starts taking away from the actual benefit and actually how good I can make the sets. I don't like it, so I like to kind of control that as much as I can. But anyways, here we are. Um, Sunday, back day, per usual. But usually, this is where it's different. I start with the lat pull downs, and I've been doing 3 heavy sets followed by a couple lighter. Um, I don't know. I've been doing these chest supported dumbbell rows. Uh, Not very long. I mean, 2 3 weeks, but I do back twice a week, so I've done it maybe 4 to 6 times. Um, and I just had this feeling. It's been well. First of all, it's been feeling really good. But other than that, um, other than the actual physical feeling, I I feel like if I do 3 heavy sets here, of course I don't know exactly what is heavy because every time I do this, I'm already 5 sets in with a drop set, so I'm pretty fatigued already. I had been doing the 90s, and that's been kind of high reps. So I got the hundreds, 100 pound dumbbells. That actually might even be light for what I'm considering heavy. By the third set, ideally, I'd like to only be getting like 8 or 9 reps. I don't think that's gonna happen here, but I want to ease into it. Oh my, I'm drifting off on a tangent here. I was trying to make a point and I fucking forgot. Damn it. Um, that sucks. Well, if it comes back to me, I'll try to make that point. It's fucking gone now. It's gone. Ah, shit. What was I saying? Oh, I think I know. I was saying that besides the actual physical feeling of it working, and I like what it's been doing, I think this could be a nice little new avenue or just a different order that I can do this because other than lat pull down and that high to low cable row, but that doesn't go heavy enough. I have to always usually save that for last, and it's still not heavy enough, even when I do that. But this is something I can do that I really feel it in my lats and my back, the whole general area really. Um, and it's not, how do I say it? There's not other variables holding me back. Like this and lat pull down are the two back exercises that I get the most out of, and that high to low cable row, but it's just not enough weight. So I'm like, I've been starting with lat pull downs for a while, so I'm gonna switch it up. We're gonna start with the dumbbell rows. Um, I I feel like I just know this isn't gonna be heavy enough. Well, I could be wrong, but I'm like, I don't know. Fuck, if I put a percentage on it, I'm like 90% sure that I could go heavier because this is what I'm starting with today. But again, I want to ease into it, and if it's so light, I'm not even against going up after one set. I'll go grab the 110s if I have to or something. But generally, I'd like to just stick with these and just kind of ease into it with each workout each week until I find that sweet spot. But anyways, let's do a fucking set. What do you say? guess what? I didn't count. So I really like doing that, but on the other hand, I kind of don't for obvious reasons. But um, I feel like that was pretty high rep. My shoulders are still sore from Friday's shoulder and tricep day, which could be a problem. Um, hopefully with more sets, kind of loosens me up and gets some blood flowing and not as much of a factor. But yeah, I mean, what I really like about this is, you know, you have a you have a reference to know if you're cheating or not. And again, I'm not against cheating on your workout. Let me clarify that. Um, but usually the cheating I like to keep toward the last. I always say 2 to 4 reps, depending on how heavy you're going. Um, but this gives you a reference because when I'm doing bent over rows, free weight on the Smith machine, that's not chest supported. Sometimes you don't even realize, and you're cheating way more than you even think. So this just gives you a nice keep your chest on the pad the whole time, and just drive your elbows back. And it's impossible not to feel that in your back. Like if you don't feel that in your back, I mean, I just think it's impossible. I don't think it's possible for that to happen if you do what I just said. Keep your chest here, just drive your elbows back. Pretty simple stuff, man. This is good stuff for beginners, but even beyond that, this is good for anybody. It is. Um, and I like it because I feel it in my lats, just like I would a lat pull down. But that peak contraction up here, it's hitting that upper mid back and all that stuff in between that a lat pull down wouldn't necessarily hit to an extent. So it's kind of the best of both worlds here. But yeah, I mean, this weight's probably not heavy enough, but I'll stick with it for this week. There's no sense at all in rushing. So I'll do a couple more like that. And maybe between the second and third set, my dumbbells are trying to make a run for it. Maybe between that second and third set, I'll, you know, speed up the rest period, make it a little more challenging that way. Yeah, let's do 2 more with this weight. Well, I forgot to even go back and count how many reps I did in the first one. So I'm going to try to make an emphasis here to count how many I actually do. I mean, it felt like it was just off my experience and just kind of what I felt like. But it felt like about 13, 14 reps. You watch, I'm probably way fucking off. I probably only did like fucking 9 or something. But at any rate, I'm going to try to count these. All right, some obvious cheat reps there to finish. But we'll call it like 12. I don't know if I'd even count that last rep. But about 12 decent reps there. 10 pretty strict. And then I cheated a little more with each one after that. Whew. So maybe I was right. I did about 12 there. I mean, maybe like 15 on the first one. Does it even matter at this point? That was in the past. a whole fucking not even 10 minutes ago, but still. All right, let's do another one. Again, I'm gonna try to rest pretty quick here, maybe another minute, and go right into it. Up, up. Wow, that actually was that got progressively more challenging with each set, like a lot more than I thought or anticipated. And on like the third to last rep or something, I don't know if you guys could hear it. This bench made a weird noise, and it put a bad thought in my head of like, what if this ever came unlatched and I'm just sitting like this, not properly braced? I mean, I am bracing obviously, but you guys, you know what I mean. It's just different when you have something supporting your chest, and when you can just kind of go like this with no support. You brace a little better, you know. So if I was doing rows here, and that just kind of that's kind of the noise it made. It kind of made the noise like it was, I don't know. It just put a bad thought in my head, because that would be. I mean, I guess it's not a far fall for the dumbbells. Maybe it wouldn't be as bad as I think, but nonetheless, I'd rather not happen. Anyways, what am I doing? I'm done with these. Um, I'm gonna go lighter, but not that much lighter, honestly. I might go like 80s or 85s, because yeah, they're back down sets. I think I was still at least around 10 reps there. So I think if I grab the 85s or the 80s, something like that, um, I'll be getting 15, at least on the first one. So let's swap these dumbbells out. All right, so I grabbed the 85s. I figured, I don't know, almost 5 pounds, right? It's not like I'm going for one rep max or anything. The 5 pounds ain't gonna make, and with this kind of rep range, it's not gonna make that much of a difference. So I want to go a little heavier, right? One more. All right, I am set up and ready for a drop set here. So need to make sure I'm locked in, because obviously the drop sets always require a little more energy. So let's try to make this as good as I can. Okay. Oh, my back's already on fire. So this is where it gets really good. Uh, uh, whew. I know I could be, this could be kind of like a beginner bias or a newbie bias. I ain't the right word. But it's just something that's new and fresh to the routine. So maybe I'm just falling victim of uh, kind of being in the prisoner of the moment kind of thing. But I think I found my new back routine until I find the next one, you know, because that felt fucking awesome. And again, it's just something different to throw at my back. Keep it keep it guessing here in the weeks and months to come. Hopefully, spark some new growth. Whew. All right, 5 sets. Let's move on to something else, man. That was fucking good to the point where it's like I don't even know where to put my arms right now. Kind of right here is where it feels the best. My lats and back are on fire, man. Whew. All right, now I'm back to some familiar ground here. At least a little more familiar than the chest supported rows. But this might be a little ambitious, the weight I'm starting with. I have it maxed out. Now, I don't have the little extra plate as well as what have I been adding when I start with this? Three 5 pound plates and then two 2.5s. So it's a little over 20 pounds less. That still might be ambitious. You know what I mean? Considering I've already done 5. Some fatigue's starting to set in already. But here's the beautiful thing about this. I have 3 sets here. So the first one's a little heavy. I'll do what I gotta do and make up for it with the next 2. But it's, I want to start challenging myself a little more while still keeping that mindset of good reps, good control, good isolation on whatever muscle I'm trying to hit for the bodybuilding side. But I feel like I have been not holding back, but I guess holding back in terms of the weight. On a lot of these things that I've been doing for, say, the past 3 or 4 months prior to maybe a couple weeks ago, I had been going a little lighter than I could for the desired rep range that I'm going for, which is 8 to 12. And then after the first exercise, I go just even a little lighter to maybe around 12 to 15. So I'm trying to push that a little bit while still checking all those other boxes. So and this is unfamiliar territory in terms of doing lat pull downs after rows. So I know it's kind of just I'm figuring out. I'm just at a figuring out stage. So we'll see how this goes. All right, me just being objectively honest here. I feel like a little heavy, just a little heavy for where I'm at in this workout. But I'm gonna ride out 2 more sets with that same weight and kind of see how it goes. That'll tell me, if anything, it'll give me a lot of information for next Sunday when I do this again. Um, can I survive 3 sets and by the third one still get a respectable 8 reps? If not, a little more if I can. But if it gets to less than that, again, it'll give me the information I need. Next week, I'll have a better gauge of what weight to do and how or what I can do with that weight for 3 sets. And I can hopefully hone in right at that ideal weight. So again, I did 12, kind of rough on the last couple. So I'll try 2 more sets and see what I can do with it. Fuck yes. I just went a little ballistic on those last. Really on both sets here, honestly. I was in a zone though. Oh man. I feel, could I handle that weight each time? It's tough, man. I feel like the weight I just did, again, I'm trying to figure out what to work with after I do 5 sets of rows, because today's the first day I've done it like that. Um, it's tough. This weight's kind of right in the middle of. It might be just a touch too heavy to handle for 3 sets. You know, just one or two, no problem. But as that fatigue starts to set in more and more by the third set, I mean, I was struggling to even get 8 or 9. I think I might have even done 10 on the third set with the heavier weight before the drop set. But if I remember right, the last 2 or 3 were pretty nasty work. Um, so it's almost just a touch too heavy. Then it's like, I mean, in a sense, I did it. So we just say next Sunday I'm not a little stronger and I can just stay at that weight for a while, you know? Or should I? Could you go like one notch lighter? I don't know. I'll sit on it and think about it. But other than that, that was 3 good sets. Let's move on. Finish with one more exercise. What that's gonna be, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. All right, let's throw this in the finish here. I don't normally do this machine because it doesn't go heavy enough, but just for the sake of doing something different, I'm gonna throw this in. Again, like I said, it doesn't go heavy enough, but I'll probably just do a couple sets. But the rest period is gonna be very short, and on the second set, I'll probably do a drop set, if not numerous drop sets. But yeah, you know, this, like I said, this weight doesn't. First of all, almost got wrapped up before I even had the proper weight on. That would have sucked. But yeah, this weight doesn't really go heavy enough. But there's ways to make things more challenging by going a little slower, squeezing a little harder. That's basically what I'm going to do here. And again, I'm at the finishing stages of this workout. So you know, I'm so exhausted and fatigued. You know, you'd be kind of a moron to try to kill yourself going crazy heavy at this point. So it's all just about getting a little more work in, um, getting good sets and good reps. So okay, actually it worked out pretty good. I think I did like 14 or so pretty clean, and then I cheated down. I cheated 2 or 3 more reps after that. That's kind of right where I want to be, really. That was almost perfect. Now, when I'm doing this, and this is a mistake for almost any back movement. You know, a lot of people, and I was probably even guilty of this for a while. The tendency is to kind of, and this machine kind of prevents you from doing that. So maybe not necessarily on this machine, but a lot of free weight stuff and maybe some other machines. The tendency is kind of pinch the elbow kind of up, if you will, almost like you're pulling it in with your bicep more, rather than driving the elbow back. Um, it kind of is that simple when you're training back. If you just think driving through your elbows, that's what I'm rowing here, driving my elbows back rather than kind of pinching them up like that. There's a big difference. And if you kind of switch that mindset to driving your elbows back, you're gonna see more, maybe not more, but better back engagement, depending where you are in your training life. Um, it, Regardless, it should be better than if you was doing what I said and kind of just pinching it up almost. Anyways, should I just do the next set? Let me move the camera. We'll go right into it. That looks like a good spot. All right, set number 2. All right. About squeezed everything I could out of that. So let's do the drop set. I'll go up about, I guess it would be 80 pounds. I don't know, something like that, 70 or 80. Ah. Okay. You know what? I don't need another one. That actually started making my stomach kind of hurt a little bit. That's when you know you're pushing, really fucking pushing it. Ah. All right, man. Let's get a little look-see at the pump. Woo, I feel fucking pumped, man. You know, you never know how it's gonna turn out. And I mean, if you train right, more times than not, it's gonna be at least decent. But then you have your really good days, your really bad days. I would say today is somewhere in between decent and really good. It's not my best, but I feel like I got a pretty good pump, man. Maybe it's just the lighting. I don't know. Maybe it's just the shirt being tight. I don't know. But I feel pretty pumped up. Man, let's get right into it. I like it. Damn, probably should have took my hat off before I tried to get the shirt on. Oh. Man, I feel like that was a pretty good fucking pump. Again, I could just be prisoner of the moment, but I don't know. If anything else, I feel like I've even had someone say this in the comments that I could be a little too hard on myself. Actually, I even think I said that last week, but it's worth mentioning again. I feel like I can be. It's good though because it keeps you going. You know, if I wasn't hard on myself, I definitely would not have reached this point. Um, I feel like anybody that makes it, and I haven't even made it. What am I talking about here? But anybody that commits to anything and they get pretty good at it, even if it's not, they don't get notoriety. Um, but because there's a lot of people out there that have great physiques and you've never even heard of them. Even this is what I'm trying to say. Even those people like me, I'm not really known at all. Um, but I got a pretty decent physique. So even that, to even reach that level, you got to be hard on yourself. There's a balance. You don't want to be so hard on yourself that that's all it is. And maybe I was getting to that point. Um, but anyways, yeah, it was a good fucking workout, dude. I feel really good actually. Almost, almost just want to keep going, but I'm not. I'm gonna hold myself back. Gonna do some cardio. Um, probably 20 minutes, and then that's it. That'll be it for today. Be back tomorrow for chess. What can I say, man? That was good shit. The new routine, I like it. I'll keep it going for as long as I feel it's working, and it definitely worked today. That being starting with the chest supported dumbbell rows, and that's another cool thing. I'll say that really quick. The lat pull down machine, when I was starting with it, I was having to add weight to make it more challenging, and I was still doing over 12 reps, at least on the first set or two. So it's getting too light. Well, with the dumbbells, I did the 100-pound dumbbells today, and it's a little more challenging than I thought. Some of that could just be, I'm unfamiliar with it to a degree. I haven't done it a lot yet, but I have plenty of room to go heavier, unlike with lat pull down. So that's kind of cool. Not to say I'll ever make it up to the 170s doing a chest supported row, because that's what we go up to here. But I have that option, and I didn't even have that with lat pull down. Not even an option. I was maxed out there. So, anyways, let's go do some cardio. Be back tomorrow.